As you can probably tell from my channel, I really like video games. I've talked about and played some of my favorites like Animal Crossing New Horizons and Stardew Valley, some story-based narrative games, and whatever this is. The wonderful world of video games is so vast and immersive that there's something for everyone. You get to go on amazing and challenging adventures that you'll always remember, or you can just wind down in a cozy little neighborhood doing little tasks with characters who feel like old friends. One thing I can always appreciate about any video game out there is that it makes people, at least one person, feel something that they can always carry with them. And if you had to ask me what video game I got the most feeling out of, it is, without a doubt, Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is one of the most intriguing video game franchises out there, at least to me. I have truly never seen anything like it in my life. It's charming, exciting, emotional, non-stop fun, and actually pretty stupid. How does a game starring Anime Boy and his party that consists of Donald Duck and Goofy supposed to be any good? The reason why Kingdom Hearts is so intriguing is because it is something so unusual that it is completely in a class of itself and itself alone. It's got an insane premise, a cast of lovable characters, and a story that doesn't always make sense, yet never fails to make an impression on me. Let's talk about why I love Kingdom Hearts and why it will always have a special place in my heart. I first discovered Kingdom Hearts when I was maybe 11 or 12, though I didn't actually play it until I was about 20 since I never had a PlayStation or any consoles for that matter. I ended up watching the game openings and maybe a handful of cutscenes on YouTube. While we're talking about those openings though, can we talk about how gorgeous they are? I still pull them up on YouTube just to watch because they're just stunning. Also, let's not lie and say that the songs did not serve. Like, what the fuck is going on here though? Can someone explain that? But I digress. I was immediately mesmerized. The character designs, the songs, and why the fuck is Disney in this game? It was too weird and out there for me to not be interested. I would think about it and how cool it would be to actually play it. But again, I was 11 or 12 with no money and no console, so I kind of forgot about it for a while. Until I met my boyfriend and Kingdom Hearts 3 released on Xbox in 2019. Which is a console that he had, and he encouraged me to try it out. I decided that I would go ahead and play it since it's always something in the back of my head I was wondering about. And it was really fucking confusing, like what everyone was saying. I expected that going in. I mean, I did go straight into Kingdom Hearts 3 with no knowledge of the prior games whatsoever, so I kind of set myself up for that. But in all of the chaos, I fell in love with the hack and slash style of gameplay and found it immensely satisfying, and the characters were really charming and likable. I must have loved it despite everything. I found myself watching endless YouTube videos explaining the plot of Kingdom Hearts and anything related. I eventually went ahead and bought the entire collection of games after that. I played Kingdom Hearts 1, figuring I should start at the beginning, and that is when I really fell in love with this franchise. Kingdom Hearts 1 was one of the most unique and immersive video game experiences I have ever had, especially since it was so different from the third one I had previously finished. I learned new strategies and navigated my way all around these worlds and characters with my little team, who I really grew to love. The story was strong and super emotional at times, and made me feel a sense of hope and wonder. The final boss was one of the hardest yet gratifying video game bosses I've ever faced. I did cry a lot, but that's okay. When do I not? And the ending is one that will really always stick with me, and I think this clip can show you why. For me, Kingdom Hearts 2 took everything great about Kingdom Hearts 1 and turned that up to the next level. The characters, especially the new additions in Roxas, Naminé, and Organization 13, were extremely compelling and charming. The gameplay was the perfect mix of the first and third's gameplay, and is personally my favorite of the three, especially with all of the strategically different methods you get to use. Plus, you get to fucking skateboard. 10 out of 10, best Kingdom Hearts game for that alone. Not only all of that, I was so intrigued with each character's struggles, external and internal, which really made the ending all the more bittersweet. Which is why, if you have to ask me, this is my personal favorite installment of the series. After playing this game and playing a little bit of the side games like Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance, I was truly and wholeheartedly sold on Kingdom Hearts. Let me explain why. Kingdom Hearts is a game franchise that actually was inspired by Super Mario 64 of all things. Shinji Hashimoto, working inside of Squaresoft, which is now Square Enix, saw its immense success and wanted to use that same formula in a Final Fantasy-esque RPG game. He felt the only way to do this, however, was to have something as big as Mario in the center of it. Enter Disney. Funnily enough, the idea came to fruition when Hashimoto found himself in an elevator with a Disney executive in their shared building at the time, and he then pitched the idea. They loved it, and game designer Tetsuya Nomura volunteered to direct the project. The production of the game is really interesting and has some pretty cool concept art too. Square wanted Mickey Mouse to be the protagonist while Disney wanted Donald Duck. Nomura then scrapped both those ideas and thought it would be best to have a brand new original character as its protagonist, designed like a Final Fantasy character with some nods to some of Mickey Mouse's signature elements, like his red shorts and his giant ass yellow shoes. It came as no surprise to me that it was really a labor of love from Nomura and the team at Square. It feels ironic to say, given that it's also from the mega corporation Disney, but it is a franchise that at its core seems so uncommercial and unconventional. It was even referred to by Disney executive Graham Hopper as a quote abomination in its early days of development. It's evident that not a single Disney exec ever got close to writing any narrative plot point outside of their notes on the variety of Disney characters, which, in my opinion, are really kind of there just to add atmosphere to the vast universe. While Disney may legally own Kingdom Hearts, the story and the original characters were all fully conceptualized by the team at Square, which, in my opinion, is what makes this game so special. Kingdom Hearts follows Sora, who lives on Destiny Islands with his two best friends, Riku and Kairi. He and his friends dream of living a life of exploration and seeing what other worlds are out there, and boy do they get what they wish for when they are all suddenly whisked away into different worlds that are infested with these dark creatures by the name of Heartless. Can we just look at them? I fucking love them. I wish I didn't have to fight them. They're so cute. Anyway, Sora wakes up in a strange world with a strange weapon called a Keyblade, and he teams up with Donald, Goofy, and Final Fantasy characters for some reason. Just don't think about it, it's better that way. Sora now sets off to find his friends and to fight off the dark forces that threaten the worlds that he travels through, which happen to be from Disney's catalog of movies. The rhythmic hack and slash gameplay is addicting. I could genuinely play it for days on end and never tire of it. The combos are satisfying, there's always a new challenge brought upon you, it's fresh and beautifully complements the settings of each world. Which brings me to world design, which this franchise has absolutely mastered over its run. If I had to pick my favorite worlds in any of the games, it would have to be Halloween Town and the Pirates of the Caribbean worlds. Hands down. The early games can feel a little boxy and dated, but as it goes on, they just get better and better. I still think Kingdom Hearts 3 is one of the most visually beautiful games out there. I could just roam around these worlds and explore all the little details for hours. The distinct settings being complemented with stylized enemies to match the world is just so cool and creative, and it all comes together with the music courtesy of Yoko Shimomura. The team working on these games are masters of their craft. As you play through, you get to experience a sincerely heartfelt story about friendship, doing whatever it takes to do what's right, trusting your friends, and yourself to never give up. It then ceases to be simple and gets a little convoluted from there, but that's really just from fluffed up and confusing writing.
Because I'm you. No, I'm me. I'm me, he says.
What does this even mean? Aside from this, the heartfelt meaning stays the same for the rest of the series, and in my opinion, is put even more into practice. It doesn't outwardly say it, but it does touch on topics such as loneliness, betrayal, confusion, and about who you are and what your place is in this world, and even things like depression and self-worth. Through all of these trials and tribulations, Sora still does whatever he can to find his friends and fight alongside them. He and others also learn that even if he can't always be with them, he and the people he loves are always connected. I know it's cheesy to say, but it really is so wholesome and inspiring to me. It feels cheesy because Kingdom Hearts is cheesy. It has silly dialogue and moments that kind of make you cringe just because of how on the nose it is. But you can't help but feel charmed by it. By the way, I can make a whole separate video on how fucking ridiculous the dialogue in these games are.
That was undeniable proof that we totally owned you, lamers.
Not only is the story enjoyable and compelling, the characters are some of my favorites in video game history, especially my boy Sora, but we'll get to him. I first want to talk about the ensemble cast that surrounds him, who of which I honestly didn't think I was going to be so endeared by. From its amazingly interesting original cast to even some of the Disney pantheon, Kingdom Hearts introduces us, or in some cases reintroduces us, to characters that are so fascinating and lovable. I wish I could go deeper into character analysis, but we would genuinely be here all day since the cast is huge and I really do love so many of these characters. Riku and Kairi are such important foils for Sora. They are so intriguing on their own too, especially Riku, who actually acts as one of the antagonists in Kingdom Hearts 1. Though I do have a soft spot for Kairi, as she really is such a cornerstone of the story and for Sora's character. And come on, look how cute they are. We meet others like Roxas and Naminé, who are also kind of Sora and Kairi, but they aren't, but they are. Yeah, they both have such tragic stories of self-worth and individuality that never fail to make me empathize with them as they navigate how to feel whole. Every time I hear Roxas's beautiful theme, or remember that incredible boss battle as you play as Sora fighting Roxas, I can't help but get emotional, especially since you started the game playing as Roxas. That was one of the hardest fights of my life though, but that almost adds to it. Roxas's struggle is also beautifully showcased in 358 over 2 days, which I can't believe I got right on the first try recording this. I need a medal or something. We see him here in his organization days with his pals Axel and Shion, and I really can't talk about this trio without getting teared up. This game really puts you right in the middle of the struggles within this group, as they learn their greater purposes and make sacrifices to do what's right, while still trying to maintain their friendship. Speaking of heartbreaking trios, I also really love the Wayfinder 3, Ventus, Aqua, and Terra from Birth by Sleep, who we really got to know up close and personal since we got to experience playing as all of them. Ventus is a tragic hero with a compelling story that centers around his own growth. Terra, who a lot like Riku, has to fight the darkness within him in a compelling story of betrayal and sacrifice. And Aqua, my personal favorite of the three, learns what it means to be a protector of her friends and does whatever she can to save them, even if it means losing everything. And I'm not even gonna lie, I really do enjoy Donald and Goofy in these games. Again, I really need to stress that I don't like Disney that much. I enjoy the movies enough, but they don't always hit the mark for me. I'm really not a fan of Disney culture, and I wouldn't touch Disney Dreamlight Valley with a 10-foot pole. I'm sorry. Despite all of that, Donald and Goofy really do work in these games, especially at Sora's side. They're like a little band of brothers taking on the world together, and it really is just strange enough to work. I really do find them endearing, and while they don't have too many plot points on their own, they hold their role in guiding Sora through his story, even though they all collectively share one brain cell, but that's what we love about them. I do hate Mickey Mouse in these games though. If I ever saw Mickey Mouse, I would drop kick him into the sun, and that is being generous. But enough about the mouse. Let's finally talk about the main character of Kingdom Hearts, Sora. The character that game creator Tetsuya Nomura said was so important to these games that he would never not be the center of it. Sora is a lovable and eager protagonist that is completely motivated by helping others around him. He would do anything and everything for the people he loves. He really is the ultimate protector, while also putting on a happy face for everyone around him. I feel like it can be hard to process how much he really does go through, as he is always shown as a happy-go-lucky, bright-eyed, sometimes stupid character, kind of similar to Ash from the Pokemon anime. Sora initially gets swept away from his home and loses his friends in the process, then told immediately that he was chosen by the Keyblade and has to go on a dangerous journey to stop the Heartless and its villainous overseers, even though all he really wants to do is to find his friends safe and sound. He sees Riku turn a dark leaf and Kairi become helpless, all while realizing his role in all of it to save them. Not to mention saving the many worlds he visits. He continues the story as a constant protector for others, while also trying to prove himself worthy despite his insecurities, all with his signature boundless optimism. I find myself really relating to that. Pouring yourself into everything you can do to help others, wondering if it is enough while always having on a positive attitude. It can be a lot, and we see that in certain moments where Sora breaks down and can't handle the pressure. As someone who relates to him, I really felt something when he admits that he may be weak and he does need help, but that's okay. It's what makes him strong. His friends are what motivates him to keep going. They're what make him feel powerful. Kingdom Hearts is a wildly strange yet beautiful work of art. It's hard to put into words how much it really has impacted me as a person. It can feel so stupid to say that because, look at it. It's silly, convoluted, and cheesy as all hell. It's exactly as Graham Hopper said. It's an abomination. And yet, there is something here that is so intriguing and unique that I can't help but feel drawn to it. It's why I've been wanting to play it ever since I was a kid. And it's why, despite being confused out of my mind after trying it out, I came back for more and more and more. Because it's not afraid to be itself. It's so bold in its over-the-top nature and so authentically made with love. There is truly nothing in this world like Kingdom Hearts, and I don't think there ever will be again. And I will always love it with all of my heart. I didn't mean to get so cheesy in this video, but it was gonna happen because that's Kingdom Hearts.
We should be safe here.